everyone, this is Iris. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're making this absolutely gorgeous Tahlia top together. Look at it, those delicate angel sleeves, the scalloped lace waving along the hems, and that sweet little ribbon tie at the neck. I made it reversible on the neckline so you can wear it with a boat neck design and deep U-neck design. All the inside seams are French seams, so it looks just as beautiful inside as it does outside, no raw edges anywhere. We're going to go through every step slowly so you can sew along with me. Let's get started. You will get 5 pieces of pattern, the front, the back, sleeves, front facing and back facing. I chose this silk jacquard fabric for the top. Some lightweight fabric like cotton lawn or voile works fine as well. For the front and back bodice, we need to cut 1 piece each of them. Also cut 1 piece for the front and back facing. Then cut out 2 pieces of the sleeves. There is a line on the center of the sleeves pattern. Cut small notches on the pattern or mark it with chalk. We're starting with the bodice pieces. Place the front and the back wrong sides together. Go ahead and pin the shoulder seams and side seams. Take it to your machine and sew along those pin lines using a 0.5 centimeter seam allowance. It should look like this after sewing. Once that's done, carefully trim the seam allowance down so you're only leaving about 2 to 3 millimeters from your stitching line. Be precise so we don't accidentally clip the stitches. Press the seams before we move to the next step. Now flip the whole bodice wrong side out. Right sides will now be facing each other inside. Give those seams a really good press so they're completely flat. Now the seams are sandwiched between the right side of the top. Pin the same shoulder and side seams again, matching everything perfectly, and sew another 0.5 centimeter seam. It should look like this after sewing. This second row completely encases the raw edges. Then press again. Press the seams toward the same direction. Next up are the sleeves. Fold each sleeve wrong sides together and pin along the underarm seam. Sew with 0.5 centimeters. It should look like this after sewing. Trim the seam allowance down to 2 to 3 millimeters. And press the seam. Then turn it so right sides are facing. Press flat. Pin again and sew that final 0.5 centimeters seam. It should look like this after sewing. Once that's done, press the seams flat. Now comes the slightly fiddly but so worth it part, attaching the sleeves with French seams. Turn your bodice right side out. Keep the sleeves wrong side out. Slip one sleeve inside the armhole so the wrong sides touch. And line up the sleeve's side seam with the bodice's side seam. Match the notch on the sleeve to the shoulder seam. Pin all the way around the armhole. Sew with 0.5 centimeters. It should look like this after sewing. Trim the seam allowance down to 2 to 3 millimeters. Press it flat. Now turn the whole top wrong side out. Press that armhole seam nice and flat. Then pin once more. Sew the final 0.5 centimeter seam. Press it flat. Let's prepare the neckline facing the exact same way. Wrong sides together on the front and back facing pieces. Pin the side seam. Sew with 0.5 centimeters seam allowance. It should look like this after sewing. Trim down to 2 to 3 millimeters. Press it flat. Turn wrong side out. Press again. Sandwich the seams between the right side. Sew final 0.5 centimeters. It should look like this after sewing. Press it flat. Time for attaching the neckline facing. Place the facing right sides together with the top's neck edge and pin all around. Sew with a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Clip any curves if your fabric needs it. Then turn the facing to the inside and press that seam really flat. On the back facing, find the center point by folding the neckline in half. Mark the exact center point. Then mark 1 centimeter to the left and right. That's your 2 centimeter opening for the ribbon later. Top stitch about 1 millimeter from the seam on the facing side, only catching the seam allowance underneath, but stop and leave that 2 centimeter section open at center back. cut the seam allowance along the 2 centimeters marks. Be careful not to cut into the seam. Trim any excess seam allowance except the 2 centimeters marks. Press the neckline flat. Top stitch again around the neck, about 0.5 centimeters from the edge, going through both the bodice and facing to create a tunnel for ribbon. If your ribbon is wider, just move that line out a tiny bit, maybe 8 millimeters, so it fits nicely. Cut the raw edge of the facing with zigzag scissors so it doesn't fray. The facing looks clean and will not fray. Carefully rip open just the original seam in that 2 centimeter centre back spot, only the stitching that attached the facing. Attach a safety pin to one end of your ribbon and thread it through the casing all the way around. Remove the safety pin, trim the ends nicely. Let's add that beautiful lace. Measure the width of the sleeves and the hem. Cut your lace strips, 1 for each sleeve hem and 2 for the bodice hem, using your size plus that extra 5 to 8 centimeters. If your lace has a straight border on both sides, you can trim one off for softer waves. It is totally optional, but it looks lovely. Cut along the pattern so the edge looks continuous. Then trim the blank mesh off so the edge of the lace looks clean. Pin the lace along each hem with the scalloped edge pointing down so it peeks out prettily. I love to place it 2 to 3 centimeters lower than the hem so I can make the length of the top longer. Overlap the lace at the pointed tip of the sleeves and pin. If your lace has a scalloped border, try to align the scallops as evenly as possible at the point to avoid an uneven pattern. Then baste it in place along the edge. Leave a long tail and cut the thread off. Repeat for all the sleeves and hem. Switch to a zigzag stitch. I like to put tissue paper or wrapping paper underneath so the lace doesn't get pulled into the feed dogs. Use the basting stitch as a guide. Sew the lace onto the hem. Then tear away the paper. To connect the lace, lay them flat, pin where the lace overlaps at the underarm seam, then flip any excess fabric out of the way and zigzag straight across that extension. Rip off all the basting line. Press the lace nice and flat. Then use zigzag scissors to trim any extra fabric on the hems. I cut off the overall length around the hem first. Then cut off those triangles between the stitches so the lace pattern shows perfectly. then trim off the excess lace close to the seam. We're finished! Here she is, our completed Tahlia top. The French seams make it feel so luxurious, the lace adds that dreamy wave, and the ribbon just ties it all together. If you sew one, please share a photo in the comments or tag me. I would love to see your fabric choices and how the lace turned out. Thank you so much for sewing along with me today. If this tutorial helped, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more garment projects, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy sewing, everyone!